Trying to goal! And what a goal!
What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? How yous all doing? Hope you're well. We're doing a transfer rumours, daily news, update and stuff like that. So I just says I'll get a few friends involved and see where we're going. And also, I'll try and get probably one or two more people on as well if you want. But look, I'll introduce them here as they are. Manny's in the picture. How are you doing, brother? Hope you're well.
All good, brother. All good. I mean, obviously, it's been a really hectic sort of week. I did say that I wouldn't be watching the FA Cup final after Manchester United and their antics in the semi-final, where they were very lucky to have gotten past Coventry. And obviously, they upset the form book and the apple cart and everything else in between and ended up winning a trophy. And I know that a lot of people on Twitter have been giving it the big chest, saying the fact that United fans can say they had a better season than us is absolute rubbish. I'll tell you what, they had a more successful season than us because they won a trophy. Ergo, the season was better, as was the case with Manchester City and as is the case with Liverpool. So where do we go from here? This could be the start of it, talking about potential transfers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ins, the outs, what we need to do, where do we need to go, stuff like that. But Warren, how are you, mate? Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
All good, mate. All good. Just like, you sort of not get bored of doing the transfer days, but I'm just dying to hear what you guys have to say and everyone else that's in the chat and stuff like that. Like, because sometimes it's like you're just talking to a wall and you're just there. Is anyone listening? But yeah, look, mate, how are you keeping anyway? What did you think of the match real quick yesterday? And then we'll get into this transfers and stuff.
What, the cup final?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I watched the Scottish Cup final, mate.
Oh yeah. That ended well for you.
Yeah, exactly. Another trophy in the cabinet. So can't grumble about that. I saw the result, obviously, and I was a bit surprised. I have to say, I thought that City would take them apart, but I don't know. Maybe they weren't that motivated. I don't really know, but I have to say I disagree with Manny. Manchester United have won a trophy, Arsenal haven't. So, the evidence is there. It's clear to see. United did have a better season than us because they won a trophy. We didn't. So
that's what I said. I was disagreeing with the people who said otherwise. I agree, Warren.
Okay, Manny. I misunderstood what you said. I thought you said that they didn't have a better season than us.
That's the thing, sir. That's the thing, Warren. It's all of these, talking heads on Twitter. You know how we say empty vessels will make more noise? In this case, it's the empty vessels who are just writing some ridiculous tweets on that platform and trying to give it chest, saying, you know what? There's another person who said, yes, we won the FA Cup in Arteta's first half season, but after that, our main aim has been to compete for the title, re-enter the Champions League, be better than City and Liverpool, and try and get more things. So nobody has any right to say that United had the better season. Well, clearly we failed to win the title. We are no better than City. We are no better than Liverpool. In fact, we're not as good as either of those teams. Our Champions League run was not as good as people think it was. And yet they're living in their own delusion. And if you try to, challenge them on their narrative, they get even more irritated. It's like dealing with people with ADHD. Seriously.
I just want to give a big shout out there to Craig, and I seen that actually, mate, that you're in hospital, and the best of luck to you. I hope you get well soon, mate. Thinking of you and thoughts and prayers with you, mate. Keep us informed of how you're getting on. I hope you're getting well soon, mate. And just want to hit up AJ, big up AJ, absolute legend in the chat as well. And I just want to make a special introduction to this absolute legend as well. My mate Anto, I call him Anto. You know what I mean, Antonio, but Anto, that's what you are here. And it's for people who don't know, this is Unique 79. He's an absolute fucking legend. He does be in all the real ones, chats, streams, everything like that. Big up to you, mate. Thanks for dropping in.
Thanks, though, boy. Can everyone hear me?
Loud and clear,
mate. Loud and clear.
Fantastic. I just want to say hello to Del Boy, to Warren, to Manny, Static, all legends on the panel. And Del Boy, I just want to thank you for having me on, because I know sometimes it can be difficult to come on, and which is understandable because your channel is amazing. Hopefully it grows even more. But it's a pleasure being with you legends on the panel. So thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it, mate. Anytime. And like that, you reached out and you DM'd me and you wanted to come on. And look, it's about, my channel is just about Arsenal fans. I don't really care about making money or anything like that from YouTube. You know what I mean? There's some deluded people out there. Oh my God, I'm gonna quit my job and just keep at this full time and make money. But we're not all as big as Lee Gunner and stuff like that. And Lee's an absolute legend. I was actually on his Matt's channel there on Friday night. We had an absolute great time. Lee, Matt, Wolf, Waffle. Who else was on it?
Lion Tex, Rod's Liverpool fan, and TJ1 was on there, and Tony Claude Gunner TV.
Jez as well.
Tony Claude as well. Tony Claude Gunner TV.
Tony, exactly, No, it's good. But anyway, I want to get this. Well, hold on. Before we get this started, we have to get another fella in. Absolute legend in the chat. Big up, Kyle. How are you, mate?
Oh, well, you've got to say hello to me as well.
Jesus, Well, since he's getting his shit together there, big up, Static. How you doing, mate? Anyway.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for the information.
I mean, don't worry, we're not professionals here, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not listening to Sky Sports News. If you want that, fuck off. No, but big up, mate. I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know if you were going to ask me about the FA Cup, so.
Yeah, no, look, that's what I wanted to ask everyone, because it's like, I was shocked because, like, even at the start of the game, United were 6-1 to win. And I was in my mate's house. We were having a party. There was Guinness on tap. It was fucking mad. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was saying to the boys beforehand, should we do a tenner ahead on United to win for the crack? Is it worth it? He just says, Del, stop, mate. Come on. Like, absolutely no chance. So I was there, fair enough. And as the game went on, I have to give it to United. But sorry, what did you make of the game anyway?
To be honest, I didn't even watch the game. I just listened to radio commentary. But from what I could gather, Manchester City were just absolutely awful. And United, they took advantage of it. They wanted a lot more than Man City, and they deserved to win. I did see the goals from both teams. But yeah, United absolutely deserved to win it. And as much as it pains me to say, because I can't stand Man United, but look, congratulations to them. I personally didn't want them to win because obviously they would be they're now one FA Cup behind Arsenal. But then if they win it, then maybe, just maybe, by some miracle, this will be a huge wake up call to the Arsenal fans. But as far as I'm aware, nothing's changed. Arsenal fans are still digging their heels and they're like, it's just the FA Cup, who cares? Oh, these fans, seriously.
Yeah, it's a trophy. But look, Antonio, I'd like to hear what you sort of make of, well, first of all, how United got on, and also then with the trophy. Had Arsenal a better season? Did United have a better season? What do you make of it?
No, absolutely. Man United had a better season because at the end of the day, the predefined metric of football, as Lee Gunner always says, is trophies. And it goes to show that on any given day, even Man City can be beaten. Apparently, nobody can beat Pep, and Man United showed that they can. And actually, I feel sorry for Coventry City because if it wasn't for that offside decision, which is very debatable, by the way, if they got to the final, can you imagine with that performance that Man City gave? Can you imagine if Coventry City, they're probably thinking, if we would have went on to that final, we probably would have got that trophy. And the thing is, and it's a shame that Arteta doesn't take domestic trophies seriously, because growing up as you guys have, back then years ago, trophies were prestigious no matter which trophy it was. But apparently, trophies nowadays it's a Mickey Mouse Cup now. It's not important, that kind of thing. But I can guarantee that if we would have won a League Cup, if we would have won an FA Cup, then you would have had these Arsenal fans claiming these cups to be Mickey Mouse's. They would have been cheering and would have been boasting. So it's a shame that we didn't get to our final to win the FA Cup. But unfortunately, in recent seasons, domestic cups are disregarded by us, and Man United went on to win it. And congratulations, they deserved it. And there you go.
Yeah. Like for me, like as it says, when I was watching the match on Saturday with my mates, like there was half of them United supporters, half of them Liverpool supporters, and they were all sort of. I was nearly the butt end of the fucking jokes because what Liverpool they won the Carling Cup, didn't they? And United win the FA Cup. Where's your cup, Del? You know what I mean? And this is the thing. Frustrating as it is. Kyle, big up, mate. I hope you're sorted there, are you?
Yeah, I was in the woman's house there. We're going over to her sister's house for a few drinks tonight, and put me under all sorts of pressure, Dale. I said to her, I want to be on the Dead Boy show for at least half an hour, 40 minutes. So the reception in the house is terrible. So I'm out sitting in the car now, but I'm after setting her on walking the dog for a while. So women crack you fucking up then, man. Well, what's what I say? I'm hearing the discussions there about Man United. This is how to tell you basic facts. Manchester United and Liverpool Football Club has had better seasons than what we did.
Facts.
4 teams won cups. What do we win? Sweet fuck on. I had this conversation there over the last couple of days. Arsenal fans coming to me and saying to me that we've had an unbelievable season. I said, how do you make that one up? Or should we finish second to the best team in the world? I said, wait there for a minute. Best team in the world, you're saying? We had 6 fucking games to go. We knew that all we had to do was win those 6 games. And we fucking blew it against Aston Villa. If we would have drawn against Fulham, or we would have bet West Ham, we would have won the league title. So how is Man City the best team in the world? We were 1 draw, 1 win away from winning. Because we're bottom jobs, that's why. Sick and tired of it, now they're telling me give Arteta another season. How many fucking seasons do we need to give this man? The most protected manager in world football. I'm here tonight to say that we're going nowhere under this management. Forget next season. We're not even going to compete with Man City next season. And let me tell you something now that I have you on this show here tonight. I did an unbelievable show with Warren last week. You want to see the real Arsenal and the real history and the history about cups with this club. Have a look at that show. 1993, that one. As you know, we were all going around celebrating winning the double, the domestic cup double. One of the best days of my life as an Arsenal fan. And now we're fucking tossing them in the bin like they don't matter. We're those fucking bastards that's talking down the FA Cup and the Carling Cup now. Those fucking big platforms. We're not fucking saying a street cup when we won the domestic cup in 93. I'm sure they were on the fucking street celebrating. Now all of a sudden it don't fucking mean nothing. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. PR bullshit.
Yeah.
And Liverpool has had a better season than what we did. End of fucking topic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't disagree with that, Kyle. I remember that 93 team, and it was just like, it was the start of my love for football. 89 was the year that I started really getting into football, and then just that team, the 89 team, and 91, and the double winning in 93. Oh, that's what it was like to be an Arsenal.
1987, we bet Liverpool in the Carling Cup, League Cup, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Charlie Nichols. I remember it like it was only yesterday. And I celebrate. I know they're throwing him in the bit. It sickens me, that boy. What about the fucking history? Does it not matter anymore?
Exactly. Like, see, people would always say to me, and I'm sure you get this as well, Kyle, and everyone else on the panel, like, I grew up with that era. You know what I mean? Where mentality was just you win, or you don't win nothing. Like, you know, you haven't succeeded. Because why do 11 men go out to play football? Is it just to take part and have fun at a professional level? You go out to win. Before I done the stream here this evening, I go out with my boys. When I come home from work, I'd say 80% of the time after work, especially in the summertime, I go out and I play football. I have a football pitch right across the road from me, a park. And I go out every day. And between I'll stand in goal and my two boys and their mates, they pick their teams. Every single one of them want to win. They don't want to just, we'll just take... And it's serious to them. Like, they want to fucking win. So how the hell does it go from like wanting to win and then this sort of shy, accepting it and stuff like that? I'm sorry, I can't accept that. And you know what it is? It's AF fucking TV. It's that shower of bastards in there that is just driving this PR. Oh, it's great. Runner-up medals and all this sort of stuff. No, it's not acceptable. I was watching the Europa League final there the other day, and we see it all the time now. The players themselves, the players from Bayer Leverkusen, they got put on their medals that they got. They just took it straight off. And that's because it's not acceptable to them. Because they're winners. They want to win. That Leverkusen team has European records and all this. Was it 51 games undefeated? That's winning mentality. That's what it's about. And you want to see their fans. I seen them on the streets of Dublin, marching through the streets of Dublin and letting everyone in Dublin know that Leverkusen's in town. And they were cheering and cheering and cheering, and fair fucking play to them. You know what I mean? Warren, for you, mate, where has it sort of gone wrong with the attitude? Are you like me? Are you blaming AFTV? Are you blaming Arsenal PR? Or are you agreeing with it? I know you're not agreeing with it, but I just said that.
Mate, I will never agree with it. And where did it all start? Where did it all gone wrong? Where did it start all going wrong for me? The day that Stanley Kroenke bought the club. He came out and said, and I keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again. When he bought this club or bought into this club, he turned around and he said, I did not buy into this club or buy this club to win trophies. This is where it all started, right? They then got a massive PR and marketing operation behind him that are bigging up anything that moves or smells anything like it's going to win or produce something, right? Or anything the club does is painted in a very positive light, and they big it up and they make it sound absolutely fantastic. But the truth of the matter is, as Darren quite rightly said the other day, it's all fake. You pick it up, it's like fool's gold. You look at it, it looks like it's something good. And then when you scratch the surface, you realise it's just a fake, cheap, nasty imitation. It's like the sort of thing you get down a market stall, like a cheap jack stall, right? You go there, you see this guy, he's like got a pair of scissors that allegedly cut a penny in half. When you get him home, you can't even cut a piece of fucking paper. Mate, it's absolute crap. This football club is a joke. It's not a football club. They're more interested in making money, selling merchandise, and hoodwinking, lying, and deceiving people than they are about actually winning trophies and going out and doing what's required. They're not interested in winning. The whole focus of this football club is completely arse about faith. They're not interested in winning. All they're interested in is making sure that people buy the company line and following their agenda. Because they've got some agenda going on. I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to go on about that tonight. It's not right. But it's they've got an agenda which they're trying to follow. And for me, it just makes all this discussion about transfers and whatnot. It's all like paper covering there. It's just a massive deflection exercise. It really is. Like, look at what's happened over the last 20 odd years or longer with this football club. And then you'll see what's going on. It's just an absolute shambles. The whole thing is it just does not. If you're looking at the perspective of wanting to see the club be successful, it does not make any sense. It doesn't. None of it makes any sense whatsoever because it's completely arse about faith. But then if you twist it and look at the perspective of a guy who's just trying to make money and get his agenda pushed through, it makes complete sense. All of it does. But yeah, so mate, I'm not buying into all this nonsense. The club's in a mess and they've got no interest in making it successful. That's what I think.
Well, look, it's, it is, like, I agree exactly what you're saying, Warren. Like, it's disheartening to think that the Cronkies think of our club like this. Like, they're not interested in winning trophies, like Warren says, like, and they have said that at the start. Like, it's not something that we're making it up or we're deluded or anything like that. But it's some, like, not only that, like, they should be held accountable. The people even running the club for them should be held accountable. You know what I mean? All this money, and I've been saying it in me transfer dailies, all this money that has been wasted. It's ridiculous. And what happens if we get charges for the FFP? What happens then? You know what I mean? The Cronkies could just go, here, fuck this. Let's get out of here. And next thing, where are we left? We're left in bits. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. Please, if you're new around here, hit the sub button and hit the like if you don't mind. Try and get 30 if I can. But anyway, I wanted to talk about a few transfers and stuff like this and just sort of give your opinion. And because this man has come in, I'll give this to Manny. Any truth in the Rashford deal? So, Rich, big up, Rich. Absolute legend. Love the guy. Manny, Rashford. Would you take him? Would you take him? Will we get him?
Here's the thing about Rashford, all right? I'm actually one of quite a few people who said in the past that I wouldn't mind having a guy like him. And obviously last season when he was scoring goals for fun at United, I was willing to credit Ten Hag for being able to, rejuvenate the bloke because there is clearly a great deal of talent in the boy. And obviously, even though for England he's been very much second fiddle to Captain Kane, who sometimes isn't always able, if you know what I mean. Rashford, whenever he's played for England, he's always done quite well, and he's accepted his role as a substitute. So, for him not to be a part of the Euros this time around, it's a bit of a disappointment. It's quite saddening, and it's a reflection on how poor he's been this season. The biggest issue that I have, though, is that if we were to buy him, where would we possibly play him? Because one of the things which I really, really don't like, Del, is the fact that a large number of these players who could function really brilliantly as centre forwards or strikers in their on their own merit are often forced out onto the wing. Rashford, like Gabriel Martinelli, in my opinion, plays his best football when he's really going through the centre, as do a lot of centre forwards. And there is, of course, a case where we should be doing a lot more with Martinelli. The big problem is, of course, if we were to get Rashford, what would happen to Martinelli? I actually think that Martinelli's future would be best served away from the club because it's crystal clear that the way things are going with him right now, he's not really able to produce as much. But even if we were to consider that Rashford might need a new challenge, where would he fit into our system? And with Arteta making it crystal clear that the 70 million quid German giraffe will be one of the main men next season, again, it's one thing to say you could have competition for places and all that rubbish, but again, you're going to have a situation where he might not even get the opportunities he deserves. It is looking likely that Rashford will leave Manchester United, but I don't really know if Arteta would be willing to have someone like him come in and further upset the apple cart with the likes of, Martinelli and Havertz potentially being affected. And I think Rich has said that he's an upgrade on a few Arsenal players. And yeah, you may have a bit of a point. Certainly an upgrade on Gabriel Jesus, who quite frankly is just a Brazilian Alex Lacazette. Can't score for toffee. And hopefully Jesus will leave this season. Before the start of the next season, we won't see Gabriel Jesus at the club. But again, it's a case of taking a look at a player with a similar profile to players that already exist at the club. I will take Rich's point where he says that Rashford's returns have been a lot better. But I just don't know if it would necessarily be something that would, add to the squad, provide us some, something that we've needed for a long time. Is he just going to come over to Arsenal and be happy being, a bench player? I'm not too sure. I think he needs to go to a club where he will play regularly. Maybe if there's another English club that would be willing to, seek his services, or maybe he could do what Sancho did and try his luck elsewhere in Europe. We'll have to see. But I really don't know if the Rashford to Arsenal thing is gaining any traction. And ironically, there was a time when I would have been happy to see that happen. But now, ironically, because I don't like Kai Havertz, I sadly can't see that happening.
Yeah, look, for me, I think Rashford is like, when he plays well, he plays really, really well. But for me, it's not consistent enough, and for Arsenal, the way we're at now, there's no joking around this summer. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no joking around with signings. We have to get it right, because what's going to happen is we're at a peak now. If you don't get it right, we're gone. And that's how close it is. And everyone says, but we've this. No. It's fucking this season or it's nothing. And I'm not talking about Arteta here. I'm just talking about the squads. Getting it right. It has to be right this summer. You know what I mean? Arteta's not leaving. They're not going to sack him. Okay? I have that in my head. I'm not accepting it, but I'm just, it's like fucking, is fucking, am I going to win the lotto or something like that? You know what I mean? I'd love to win it, but it's not going to happen. So it's so vital that we get this right. And the thing about Rashford is he would be a gamble. I don't want that gamble. Okay? If we signed him, I know myself and I know Kyle Walsh would absolutely fucking, like, he's the type of player would drive me mad. I'd say I'd do streams and I'd be screaming down the fucking the mic and whatever at it. And I'm sure Kyle Walsh and most of you guys as well would be the exact same. So for me, it's too much of a gamble. Static, I want to just talk to you about Aaron Ramsdale. He is leaving. This is what he's basically, the rumours are coming in. His camp, his fucking dad, everyone else is saying he's leaving. Newcastle, potentially. And as I said, it's the reports are saying 15 million. 15 million for an English international. You've probably seen me daily streams and what I've been saying about that. I want to hear what you have to say. But before that, if you're new, please do sub and hit that like button. Static, the floor is yours.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Ramsdale, because I don't know if you guys seen or heard. He was actually at the sorry. He was watching Southampton against Leeds United in the championship playoff final. I don't know what he was wearing, but
yeah, I seen
it. It looked like he came from a reenactment or something. But as I was saying, as we were talking about Ramsdale, no, we can't sell him for less than what I think everyone was saying. We should sell him we want to try get around £50 million. I'd be content with between 35 to 45 million. But ideally, as you said, Del Boy, which you're absolutely right, English tax. So yeah, look, we've got to get as much as we possibly can. We paid around £25 million for him. I'm sure we did. So if we can get the same plus another 10, 15 million, ideally 50 million, yeah, that would be perfect. Because look, anyone that's makes an offer of less than £30 million, in my opinion, get rid of him. Decline the offer straight away, because we need double that at the very least. But I'd settle for at least 40 million. But just that is, I don't know if it was Newcastle or whoever, but whoever made that offer of £50 million, that's a major insult.
Yeah. Antonio, what do you make of it, mate? Ramsdale, 15 million, Newcastle. Now that's probably a cheeky bid that they're put in, but you know, is he going? Like, or should we keep him? Should we be acting as a big club going, we're going for Champions League, we're going for leagues, FA Cups? You know what I mean? You should be hanging around me.
Yeah, I'm going to share Static's sentiments in regards to 50 minutes. It's not enough. We should go for more. And plus, will Rashford want to play second fiddle for another season, considering like what's happened, with him and his dad, that kind of thing? And also as well, Del Boy, just let you know, I have to head off in a minute, but I will say this. You said about the transfers that our club is in a mess when it comes to transfers. We've got a lot of players that we need to let go. We've got a lot of players that we need to be filled. And also, just to even rotate, Tierney, is he staying or is he going? Sivchenko left back, hell no way. Tomiyasu, unfortunately, his calf's not that strong enough. But when he's good, he's good. We need a cover at right back for Ben White. We need a centre defender just to cover for Saliba, for Gabriel. Partey, apparently he's going. If you think that next season a Jorginho and Rice is going to be our midfield, think again. Because if Partey goes, we'll need two solid central midfielders. And as Manny said about, the striker position, Rashford, yes, on his day, he's very good. However, he's got an attitude problem. Look, even if you play for a club and even if you have in your mind, look, I don't want to be here anymore, you need to perform regardless anyway. Because if you go on the pitch thinking you could do whatever the hell you want, other clubs are not going to be interested. So Rashford will be a risk. But when he's good, he's good. But in regards to Ramsdale, as Static said, 50 minutes not enough. We need to be serious and say, look, we're Arsenal. We're not going to take this 50 minutes. No, we want more. We need to mean business. But unfortunately, when it comes to transfers, not many people take it seriously.
Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate. So at the moment, we've got a lot. I mean, this summer, Del Boy, to be honest with you, this summer, it's going to take even more than that to sort things out. And as you said, Arteta is staying. It is what it is. I mean, the Kroenkes, all they think about is money, as Warren said. They don't think about trophies. And even Carl, by the way, nice to meet you, Carl.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet my brother. And even Carl, is frustrated, like many of us. We want our clubs to be serious. We knocked down Highbury to move to the Emirates to be elite or to compete with Europe's best, and we haven't done that. So we need to take accountability and be like, look, things need to be fixed and things need to get done. So that's all I want to say, Del Boy. And I need to head off, but thank you for having me on the show. I will come on next time, definitely. Like and subscribe to Del Boy, to Carl, to Manny, to Warren, Static as well. I think that's text that way. To Static. And just to leave my social media, my Instagram is Antonio_unique79. So God bless you and thank you, Del Boy, once again.
No problem, mate.
No problem.
Cheers, Antonio.
Thank you, Antonio.
Come on, mate.
See
you, man.
Bye-bye.
Still, mate. Kyle, I'll come to you there on that as well, just with the Aaron Ramsdale thing, 15 million. Are we being taken the piss out of him by all the clubs, not just Newcastle?
Yeah, Del Boy, let me tell you, just roughly speaking here, right? I'm going to say this. I don't want Marcus Rashford at Arsenal Football Club. His attitude is fucking stinking. He's playing for the biggest club in world football. And look at his performances. Look at his attitude. I don't care what manager is in charge. If he doesn't like the manager or the owner, who gives a fuck? He's getting £350,000 a week to perform for Manchester United Football Club. He's a fucking disgrace and has been all season. His attitude, I don't want these players anymore at the club. Mr. Wozil was the same. Don't fucking want them. Keep them at Old Trafford. Don't fucking want them. Now let's move on to Ramsdale. Sell the fucking stupid cunt. Not good enough. Out the fucking club be fucking. The same with that. I'm telling you something. People laugh at me. I'm telling you. Ray and Ramsdale put together wouldn't make a world-class goalkeeper. We need a world-class goalkeeper. We had one in Martinez. We need a world-class goalkeeper. Ray is not the answer. Ramsdale is not the answer. So I take 15, 20 million, whatever the fuck. Get rid of him. It's time to wake up. We have 10, 11 or 12 players that I can think of that we need to ship out. Now, are we either going to behave as a big club or are we going to act the fucking clowns that we have for years and years and years? Because we're going nowhere with this crowd of fucking the squad that we have. What have we won? What have these players achieved? They've achieved fucking nothing. It's time to wake up. We need a top-class goalkeeper. We need a top-class left back. We need another top-class, a couple of top-class centre midfielders. We need a couple of top-class strikers. We need a top-class left winger, and we need a top-class right winger to make Saka cop himself on. Because he's not been underperforming. I'm fucking sick of him. It's time to wake up. We want to win trophies. We're not winning that with these fucking clowns. And I mean that, dead boy. I fucking mean it. We're talking here. We can talk here for the next 5 hours about this player and that player. At the end of it, they're not good enough. I can name about 10, 12 players. And then I'm hearing reports that that number 29 Havertz is our number 1 striker for next season.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is going on? I'm so frustrated. I'm frustrated out there, boy. Ramsdale, 15, 20 million, let him go. What's the point hanging on to him? Let him fucking go. Not good enough.
I'm the same. Like it just comes to, I don't care who it is. Like Ozil, for example, did not want to be at Arsenal for about the last 3 years of his contract. And Arsenal kept on paying him big fucking money. And what did we get for it? We got absolutely fucking nothing from it. Nothing. There was no quality. I did not rate him. And there's still people rating him so much. I could not see it. I don't know. His attitude was fucking disgraceful. And I'll tell you, if I was at the fucking Emirates some of them times, I would have been barred because I would have flew onto the fucking pitch after him. Because the bastard held us to fucking ransom. When we were just finishing off paying the stadium, trying to get a few quid, he was on big fucking money. And if it wasn't going his way, he let everyone in the stadium know he was not fucking interested. He'd mope around, walking around, and he wouldn't put a shift in. You know what I mean? I'll say one thing about Sanchez. He always put a shift in. You know what I mean? He well, not all the time, but most of the fucking times. But Ozil, Jesus Christ. Right. If you're new around here, please do subscribe. We don't curse all the time. We do show the love. You know what I mean? For fuck's sake. But hit the fucking like.
But that boy, just to say, it's very frustrating, that boy. When you love the club with a passion and you're looking at the crap day in, day out, what's going on with this club. It's a joke, that boy. Eddie Nketiah has to go. Fabio Vieira, Sambi, Tamiyasu, Jorginho. We're giving contracts to Jorginho. What's that all about? Number 29, not good enough. Martinelli, not good enough. Smith Rowe, not good enough. The list goes on. Are we going to wake up or are we going to continue this bullshit?
Warren, I want to come to you about a player I always talk to you about, and it's a player you absolutely love. I love him as well. He's over in Spain. He bowed out gracefully with his comments to Real Sociedad. He was like, loving the fans and the area, everything like that about the club. He absolutely loved it. He is coming back now after our manager hasn't talked to him or texted him once over his loan period. And it's a position that we have at left back that we've been putting a right back there. We've been putting a centre back there. We've been putting a Ukrainian that wants to go to war if he's called up. That doesn't need to be called up. He can just go. So what's going to happen to Kieran Tierney?
Mate, if I was Kieran Tierney, I would not be coming back to this club. I wouldn't. I'd just refuse to come back. I'd say, all right, okay, I'm not coming back. You need to sell me. And if they refuse, I would go on strike. I would, mate, the way that guy's been treated is an absolute fucking disgrace. And it's just another one in a long list of players that have been treated disgracefully by this fucking excuse of a manager. This guy, his man management skills are in the fucking mud. He couldn't man manage a wet paper bag if he fucking tried. He's absolutely fucking useless. Mate, honestly, it's this fucking joke. I could give you at least 16 or 17 different players' names that have been mismanaged by this guy. It's an absolute disgrace. And the other thing that annoys me about it, he's letting world-class players walk out of his club and then replacing him with mediocre ones. Thomas Partey's going out of the club. And we're giving Jorginho a new fucking contract. What the fuck is that all about? I completely agree with Kyle, right? Our goalkeeping situation, an absolute shambles. He let Emi Martinez, who is now a World Cup winner and probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment, walk out of this club, and we've got bloody Aaron Ramsdale, who thinks it's okay to start giving out to opposition fans every time he plays, and nearly caused a riot at White Hart Lane, right? And we're having to deal with them two. Them two ain't anywhere near good enough for this club. Ramsdale or Raya. I'm sorry, I don't like Raya. I don't like Ramsdale. I want them both gone. They're not good enough. When did you see Pat Jennings, David Seaman, John Lukic, right, Jens Lehmann, any of them goalkeepers start having it with opposition fans? Not fucking once. Not fucking once. It's a fucking shambles, this club. Right? We need a goalkeeper, if not two. We need a right back. We need a left back. At least one in each of those positions. Because the backup is absolute dog shit. Right? We need at least two central midfield players. We need a left winger. We need a right winger. Because I'm telling you now, Bukayo Saka looks to me like he's on his last leg. He's been overplayed. He's not been coached properly, like most of 90% of the players in this squad. I'm telling you, if it was down to me, there would be only players being left at this club in the summer would be Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice, and that'd be about it. About 3 or 4 of them. The rest of them, get them out. They're not good enough. Martin Odegaard, not good enough. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke, mate. Honestly, I'm sorry. This squad is an absolute mess. We haven't got a striker. Who's our number one striker? Not that bloody Anubis, bloody half man, half dog thing. It's a fucking joke. He is not good enough. He's never going to lead us to a Champions League or a Premier League title. He's just not going to do it. You look at what Manchester City have got. They got Erling Haaland. He scored, 39 goals last season? And then we got this bloody clown. He thinks he's a fucking dog. Honestly, mate, it's a fucking shambles. The whole club, top to bottom. You've got Ed who's rather go and flip burgers and bloody go on jet skis and like do deals properly. And when he does do deals, they're as fucking dodgy as the day is long. Right? You got Arteta, he's like got more bloody flaws and he's got things that are right with him. His character is seriously questionable. I want the whole lot of them gone. The board, the owners, the management, because the owners, they are the ones that are allowing all this bullshit to carry on. They should have someone in there, if not them, looking at what's going on and calling it out and questioning people about what they're doing, holding people to account. Who's holding Arteta to account? No one. Who's out holding Edu to account? No one. It's a fucking shambles. Anyone ever heard the expression, while the cat's away, the mice will play? That sums Arsenal up in a fucking nutshell. The whole thing is a fucking mess, mate, and I'm sick of it. It is. The Carl and I, over the week, I put the video up on Sunday. Carl and I did this video about what Arsenal used to be like, the standards and the class the club used to have. That club is dead and buried. That club, as it was, the club it is now, isn't a shadow of the club that we are now. Mate, it's gone, it's finished, and we're a fucking joke of a club. We'll never, ever win a major trophy under this current regime. Never, ever, because the informal structures are not in place for it to happen. But I'm finished my rant, and I'm sorry about all the bad language, but I'm just really angry, Del.
Absolute spot on facts, Warren. Absolute facts. Warren, that is probably the best bit of talk I've ever come out of your mouth. Facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you talk shite all the time. I talk shite all the time. That was quality, I must say, mate. Now, do me a favor, okay? Warren, I want you to do this right now. Put the link of your stream with Kyle into the chat, because people who are watching this, you must watch that. I watched it. It is fucking quality. I must say, Kyle and Warren, that was just fucking really good, really interesting to watch. Brought back a lot of memories for me. I was supposed to be on the show, but I couldn't make it. I had me young fellas football team training and stuff like that, and we're top of the league at the minute, and we're going for it. So unfortunately,
I just like to say that why. Thanks for the shout outs. Very important show, and that's part one. There's going to be a part two and a part three of this as well. And I hope to God every Arsenal fan should watch the three of these shows that's coming. Yeah. Because
there's going to be, sorry to interrupt, there's going to be one hopefully this week.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because there's so passion, just a passion thing, that why. This club, you have to understand, this club means everything to us. And we need it back to where it was. It saddens me to see the club on the fucking ground.
It's like, this is it. Like, as I said, do yourself a favor. Get yourself a bit of time, chill out, press play, and just watch it. You know what I mean? And do hit the sub on Warren's channel as well. He's an absolute fucking legend. I want to come to Carl there. Sorry, mate. I had you in the background waiting. I can only have 6 on at a time, so apologies for the delay in getting you on. But big up, mate. How are you keeping? And you're on mute, by the way.
Amateur mistake. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry that the sun's creeping in my window, so the green screen's just gone kaput. Everyone has made
As George Harrison
amazing...
would say, here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right.
As I was saying, good to see you, Manny. Everyone has got extremely valid points, what I've been listening to for the last half an hour or so. Kyle with his absolute, with his ranting is absolutely spot on. Manny with the common sense approach as always. Static as well, just talking straight up facts. And Warren as well. First time I met you, Warren, mate, but your ranting has been fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. We're going back through this carousel again of being linked with everyone and their mother throughout this entire season, okay? I've got a list of names here, which I've already got sped out, okay? So you got Sesko, Yorokaios, Zubamendi, Olise, Tony, Watkins, Hato, never heard of him, Varane, and this Brobbery guy from Ajax, who I've never watched. I've watched Ajax all season, by the way. How many of them players do you reckon we'll get in the summer?
Well, like for me, I don't think we're getting too many. Like the midfielder for me is a really important bit, because if Partey's gone, and this is what we're hearing, as someone said there earlier on, I think it was Antonio saying we could have Jorginho and Rice in that midfield role. Jorginho won't last the pace, you know what I mean, of a 90-minute high quality intense game. If you're playing in the Etihad. And like, you know, Rodri's there, and no, you know what I mean? So for me, I can see one big signing, and I think the rest is going to be plasters over water fucking holes and pipes, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. We're going to go through this all summer now, where we're linked with other people, linked with so many players, and we're not going to get any of them. You know, it's usually we get like a marquee signing and 2 squad depth players. It's usually how it all comes across. And people are already telling to me for mediocrity. Yep, absolutely, Luke. And at the end of the day, you know, we have still got holes to fill. We still need an out-and-out striker. Been screaming for it for the last 2 seasons. We do need another midfielder, because, you know, now they hear that I call him the general, because no one takes any shit off him. Partey is a very, very good player when he wants to be. But unfortunately, his injuries, it's quite ironic, isn't it? At Atletico Madrid, he barely got injured once. He comes to Arsenal when he's on IR more than he is playing. Coincidence? Mm-hmm. And we got Timber in. Okay, it's always ACL. Not a lot you could do about it. But we don't know how good he's going to be. He could be the next great fullback, or it could be another friggin' Kolasinac. we ain't got no idea. So it's just bewildering, okay? And the fact that we got a lot of players to shift out, like regarding of Ramsdale and all that sort of players, okay? I've got a list of well over, I think, 12 to 13 players on here that we could actually shift. All of that in total could give us around about 300 million quid. And if you go through transfer market, that's what they're situated as. Static, I know you turned around and said you want something like between 35 and 45 for Ramsdale. Am I correct?
Yeah, but we know. Yeah. Listen, can I just answer it?
Yeah.
I know Arsenal all too well. We'll get. This will disappoint Del Boy. Arsenal will do the stupid thing and sell Ramsdale for 15-20 million pounds. That's just typical Arsenal. You.
He's retailed on transfer market right now at 30 million.
Yeah, we'll probably get half. We'll just sell him for 15 million. Because, like, you know, guys, sorry, I will let you finish talking, Carl. I just want to quickly say to you guys, the panel and live chat, look, we know Arsenal always sell players below their market value. They've done this for the last, 10, 20 years? They never learn. They never learn. That's it for me.
No, you're spot on. I don't trust Eddie as far as I can throw him. Yes, okay, the signing of Declan Rice was a very good signing, and we kind of needed that more than anything. The Havertz one, I'm still up in the air about. Okay, he scored 14 goals, fine, but you scored the same amount of goals as Gabriel Jesus did in his best season for Arsenal. That's not exactly something to write home about. we need a high class out and out striker, and the fact I don't want Sesko or Yurikaya. Sesko, he's had one good season at Leipzig. Hasn't scored that many goals. And then this Yurikaya guy, okay, he scored, how many goals has he scored? Well over 30 for Sporting Lisbon. But in his previous club, it was Coventry City, and he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So you're going to pay a stupid amount of money for a player who's had 1 year of first class production. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that in case it comes back to bite us on the backside. Darwin Núñez is still. It's another Darwin Núñez situation. He scored bags and bags and bags of goals for Benfica, I believe. He came to Liverpool and he had one good season. Would you get 15, 16 goals in all competitions? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 seasons, he's just dropped off. This is why you look at proven players in the Premier League. You look at players like an Ivan Toney, you look at players like Nolly Watkins, you look at Alexander Isaac, and if you look into La Liga as well, there's a 26-year-old striker who's bagged 24 goals this season, won the Golden Shoe in La Liga by the name of Dovbyk, plays for Girona, and we're only after. And if you look at his release clause, it's only around about 30 million euros. If you put 50, 60 million on the tables, they'll sell him. But apparently, our top gooners turn around and say, "Oh no, Girona won't sell him to us because they're Manchester City's sister club. They sold us Les Dennis and the Beluvi and Gabriel Jesus."
Carly, even on that, if he has a release clause, Arsenal just go, "Yeah, we'll pay that. So fuck you, Girona. We don't need to talk to you. It's in his contract. They don't need that's what happened to Thomas Partey. 45 million was his. 45 million Atletico. Yeah, Thomas, come here and we'll have a chat with you. That's the way it is. And he's exactly. I was watching that game. It was a Friday night. It was. He is a fucking serious machine. He scored a penalty as well, I think, and he nearly killed the fucking goalie. Give me the fucking ball. And Girona are 3-0 up. And can you imagine? Fucking Martin Odegaard would be there grabbing the fucking some photographer's fucking camera, taking pictures of himself. This fella's fucking there. We're 3-0 up. I want fucking another 3 goals. It's the mentality. You know what I mean? This is what we need to change with the club as well. Win. And not like the whole fucking, like that thing with the cameras coming back to bite him in the fucking arse, Odegaard, taking pictures and stuff like that. And the season beforehand, it was the Bournemouth game, as if we won the World Cup, the World Club Cup and fucking every other cup, all in one. We played Bournemouth at fucking home. We came back, we were losing 2-0, we came back. Fucking joke. As he says, I think Roy Keane says it, get down the fucking dressing room. Go in and fucking sing and dance with each other in the dressing room. Not out on the fucking pitch where there's cameras rolling and other fans and other teams looking at you making a show of yourselves. That mentality that he had, that's what I want at the club. Because I said it before, I says, we're going to go big in probably the midfielder. I think it could be Grammarish. I just have that feeling. It's not that I know anything. It's just I have the feeling that we're going to get a big midfielder and it's going to be 100 plus. And then we're going to have to start using the head. And exactly what you says, Car, that the Brob Crev or whatever the fuck you pronounce his name.
Dovbyk.
Yeah, he 30 million. You get him. Because you're not getting Ivan Toney cheap. And I know he's on his last year in his contract. Arsenal will have to pay, let's say if Burnley went in for him, they'll probably have to pay 50 million. I think they'll say 80 million, you can have him. Because you fucking really need him. And we do really need a top quality striker. Because Kai Havertz, for me, I think he had not a good season. He had an okay season. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to have that second season. I think he's going to hit the second season syndrome and be dog shit. Sorry, go ahead, mate.
No, look, I agree with you. I look at Havertz as more of a squad depth type of player. He's someone you could bring on to add a different dimension to the second half. So let's say, for prime example, you had an Alexander Isaac and you start, and he is the clear threat goal scorer. He's very good, can play off the last man, and he can cut inside and out and, get to the tight angles. That sort of strike you want. But if that don't work in the second half, and then you bring Havertz on for the final half an hour, you're then giving someone, got another problem to deal with, someone to hold up the ball, someone who's got good aerial threat in the box, and someone who is a complete and utter shithouse. I've said this to Manny on my channel many times. You need chalk and cheese when you get to strikers. If you get two of the same kind, you're just going to get the same results. So it's best. More than one way to skin a cat in this game.
Exactly. Like I said it last year, okay, and people were calling me a fucking idiot, and that's grand. I says in January we didn't sign one player, and we needed Oliver Giroud, and I fucking said that because he is a completely different to Jesus. Jesus is the ball on the ground. Giroud, if you're chasing a game, which we were, you know what I mean, in a few games that we lost and ended up blowing our beans, fucking by losing we were ahead 5-8 points at one stage, and then the next thing City go and beat us by 5 points. Those games there where Giroud you get in a corner, whip it in, his head's getting on it. You know what I mean? He was great for that, and exactly what you says there, Carl. Mix it up. You know what I mean? It just seems like we're just coming in, playing it on the ground, stuff like that. And I want to just where did AJ says it here? We need a backup to Saka. Saka's been played into the ground. He hasn't played well, I'd say, since November, December last year. And what I mean is not played well, not his standards. You know what I mean? Not to his standards. He's played a few games good. He's played them good, not great. And he's wearing down, and he's going to be playing for England in the Euros as well. And what's going to happen? Then it's going to be pre-season and back going again. And there's no one there to challenge him or to even give him a break when we're playing, let's say, the lower teams or the cup competitions or stuff like that. Manny, I don't know if you know anything this, because I wanted to just say what Mike has here. This Grayo Carey's, or whatever the fuck you pronounce his name.
Yokeresh.
Yokeresh. There you go.
That's correct pronunciation.
Yokeresh.
Yokeresh.
Right, there he is.
Can I just say, sorry to
go for
interject, Manny, Delboy, I can answer Mike's question. Look, he's a very good striker, but I want to answer his question. Apparently, it's just come out yesterday or 2 days ago that Arsenal are not going for Yokeresh because Sporting Lisbon want 100 million euros for him. Mm-hmm. They said they will not sell him for less than 100 million euros. Anyone that offers less than 100 million euros, thanks, but no thanks. So looks like we're not going to sign him. And that's fine. Look, we can get strikers that are a lot cheaper. Good ones as well.
Not only a lot cheaper, but certainly a lot more prolific, if that will sort of segue back into the question. But Del, I know that obviously with regard to your questions, there are more layers to them. Please ask your question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, here, look, I think Static sort of covered that, but what Scott is saying here, big up Scott, mate. ESR, Smith Rowe, 20 million max. I want more than that. As I says in me video today, and please do check them out. I do them daily, every day. Check them out. Hit the notification, hit the sub as well, and like. But anyway, Smith Rowe, is he a player that we need to get rid of for the money?
If someone pops up with 25 to 30 million, sell him.
Even 20 million would be good, because one of the reasons why I'm really glad that Carl is on the stream is because, of late we've been doing a lot of videos together for his channel. That's, of course, the Gun Down podcast. We often do the Night Fever videos on Saturdays, but I remember doing a fine video with him and Posh Bertie from Gooner Gathering. Shout out to him too.
Yeah.
There's actually a sort of a school of thought which says that if you have players who sort of come in from the Hale end who don't really cost you very much, you can sell them for a reasonable amount of money, and it would be more than a decent investment. And the problem with them selling Ramsdale for the British tax fee, £40 million pounds for him, is that here's the deal. This entire season has seen him not only been banished to the bench, but also whenever he's played, for the most part, he hasn't looked good. So he's one of those players right now, obviously, who will be, in need of playing time. But I don't see any club worth their salt being willing to, pay through the nose for him. And so I'm sorry, Static. I know, obviously, it is important. And I do agree that we should try to make sure that if we don't get a profit for him, at least we have to try to break bank. The problem is that because of the way things have gone with him, I just don't know if he would necessarily be willing to. I mean, if any club would be willing to take that big a gamble on him. And this sort of segues back into what Sporting Lisbon was saying about Gyökeres. If you don't want to sell him for anything less than 100 million, you know what, you can keep him, because as Carl would agree, he's nowhere near as prolific, and we should be able to get another striker who would be prolific. This other Ukrainian, Zinchenko's pal, seems like a pretty decent investment. Wouldn't mind having him necessarily, but it just goes to show you that whenever it comes to our transfer business, we just don't even seem to know where to look for and what to look for. And the worst part is, because of our transfer business in earlier seasons, it's as though we've pretty much set ourselves back. Now it does look as though that Havertz will be the starting striker, which, if next season he can bag something like 20 to 25 goals in that particular position, I suppose you can say that maybe it would be a decent decision. But again, the jury will be out, especially if he fails to, if he flatters to deceive in the big games. He seems now to me to be another stat padder. And people have been talking about how he did so well last season, but most of his goals were quite literally scored against teams who couldn't even cut the mustard. And of course, I despise that celebration where he would, how old are you, 5? And I thought Eddie Nketiah's Call Me Maybe celebration was horrible. It's as if, I think, big up to Warren and Kyle for that stream. I did watch a bit of it. I have to watch the whole thing on playback. But both of you will agree with me that the way these players are celebrating these days, the class and the self-respect and the manners of some of these players have literally just gone down the lavatory. But yes,
Manny, you made a lot of great points, Manny. I agree.
Just to come in there, Manny. Just come in, Manny. What you just said. You're talking about the players today celebrating. All you have to do, Manny, as a perfect example, is look at that fucking prick of a captain, so-called captain.
Yes.
And he's taking photographs.
Yes.
And he had to win him jack shit.
Yes.
You didn't see Cody Adams doing that. Patrick Vieira, David O'Leary, Frank McClintock. You didn't see any of those great captains doing that.
No.
Fucking idiots.
Absolutely. And I did mention some of that as an idea of how, ironically, people say that Arteta's improved the attitude, but with the likes of Odegaard and Ben White, the attitude has actually gone a little bit worse. And I like this comment from Ali D saying that, we might need to sign about 80% of our players from the Premier League, but who could we sign? And now, of course, we've got a situation right now where we have several players who we have to sell before we can even buy. We may not necessarily be hit by the PSR those PSR people as of yet, but given the way we've been spending money, it may only be a matter of time. But you take a look at how other clubs have been operating and making some sensible purchases. I'll tell you what, Aston Villa have been making a lot of excellent moves. They've moved to sign Ross Barkley as someone who could definitely do a job in the centre of midfield if Douglas Luiz has to leave. And they've got to sell quite a few players as well, notwithstanding the fact that they've earned some money from the Champions League in terms of qualifying for that. I don't rate Gyökeres as a striker. We need to go for better. And quite frankly, as I've said, and I will be brief and I will wrap it up, our transfer policy has become quite literally misguided, whether it's selling players who we need, but who the manager and the board deem are not good enough, and then buying players who the manager and management deem are good enough, but quite frankly, won't really help us get to that next level. So all this talk about taking the team to the next level, our transfer activity has been so poor, I'm not really holding my breath for anything special. And I think in conclusion, I think many of us on the panel can agree.
Yeah, I want to go to Kyle in his snakeskin jacket there. Someone says to me there, I think it was Mike or something like that.
Probably plays some Van Halen in the background as well.
I'd love to see the set of shoes you have on you, you bollocks. I'd say there's snakeskin as well, Eddie. But here, the first person I've ever heard talking about Martinelli to sell Martinelli was you. Are you still standing by that? Is now the time to sell him, get big money, or are you sticking?
We need upgrades, Del Boy. We need upgrades. Martinelli has been at this club now for a good few years, Del Boy, and for me, he hasn't improved at all. Now, people can say that Arteta is not managing right, and I agree with that. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's on the bottom of the list in the Premier League. For me, he's just not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. He's not good enough to win us a Premier League title. He's not good enough to win us a Champions League title. You see, you're talking about upgrades. And as far as I'm concerned, we need an upgrade to Martinelli. He's a headless chicken half the time, that boy. He has great skill, but he just runs himself into trouble every time. His final ball is not good enough. So, my judgment on Martinelli still stands. If I got 30 million, 40 million for him, I'd let him go. The same with Smith Rowe, Del Boy. You see what happens as fans, what happens is we get blinded. We have tunnel vision. We see these players and we want to love them and we want them to succeed. We want them to be heroes, But it comes to a point where you have to take those blinkers off and see what is actually in front of you. And some people love Martinelli. And fair play. If you love Martinelli, who am I to tell you not to? But for Kyle Walsh right now, for me, not good enough and needs to go. The same with Smith Rowe. People say he's a good player, he's a good dribbler with the ball, all that kind of stuff. For me, not good enough. He's at the club since he was 10 years of age. Yeah. Come on. So exactly. That's where I'm coming from, Del Boy. The panel might disagree with me, but for me, Del Boy, Martinelli and Smith Rowe out the fucking door.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but there is one question I'll throw at you. What's the difference between Martinelli and the top goal scorers in Europe currently? And it's the smallest piece of detail as well. It's not. I think Martinelli, when he's one-on-one with the keeper, he does know how to put the ball in the back of the net. He has got a sweet left foot on him. He really does. But the one problem Martinelli has had, and I've seen this now for the last couple of seasons, he doesn't run with his head up. He runs with his head down.
Exactly.
That's what you call tunnel vision. Go and watch replays of Thierry Henry, how he just ran with the ball. Exactly. He was looking around and see where he could put a pass or where he could take the shot from. He's got to. It is the most simplest of tweaks, the simplest of adjustments. And if he does that on a consistent basis, you have then got a clinical goal scorer. But I agree with you. I think the only real technically gifted striker we've actually got is Trossard. And he's like a basketball player as the fifth person, coming off the bench and putting up 20 points.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I also have another theory. I remember reading about another hero, tragic, of course, David Carlisle Rocastle, rest in peace. And of course, it was his quote that you use as a tagline for that videos of yours. Remember who you are, what you are, and what you represent, I think, along those lines, yes?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Early on in his Arsenal career, I think, he was fast-tracked into the team based on his talent, but a lot of the coaches noticed that he was also having a similar problem of running, pretty much with his head down all the time and running this way and that, not being able to contribute very much. And it was then that they found out that the poor chap had an eyesight problem. So they fitted some contact lenses on him and he started to play better. Maybe Martinelli needs an eyesight test. Maybe his eyesight's gone down.
Yeah, it's for me. I think I said it before. I think it could be the coaching with Martinelli. Like when he burst onto the scene against Liverpool, he made a show of them. Even like the Chelsea game, he ran from the halfway line to score. He got a bit lucky, but still, he got himself in that position. I think there's a player there. And the thing about it is, I think I'm a season early. Like this time next year, I could be saying, yeah, look, he's been given a good chance, But for me, if we sold him, I think a coach could get a tune out of him, and he's gonna rock on, and it'll kill me. You know what I mean? That would kill me. Seeing him bagging a few goals and here and there, and he comes back to the Emirates, you can guarantee he's going to be scoring goals against us.
If say for example we sold him to Aston Villa and he goes to Unai Emery, we are dead. We are dead.
Yeah, 100% agree. And here, it's the same with Smith Rowe. He's been linked with Aston Villa as well. Now, I think all our sort of our dead wood is going to be linked to Aston Villa either way because of the Emery sort of thing, and that's understandable. But I think Emery can get a tune out of these boys. You know what I mean? If one or two of them go, I think he definitely will.
Better than Arteta, you see, that boy. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't give, and us Arsenal fans didn't give him a chance.
Yeah.
Imagine what he'd done with Arsenal by now. Instead of that, this jackass for the last 4 years going on to his 5th year, what we got to show for us? Emery's team won an FA Cup for him. Poor thing is a joke there, boy. And I tell you here and now, we're not winning anything next season. I'm saying it here tonight, we're winning nothing next season. And
I completely agree, Carl.
Matty said it earlier, and he's right. We are fools to believe that we're going to have a top-class transfer window this summer. We're not. We're not. I don't think we're going to go out and spend 100 million on a striker. We're not. So sit back and watch what's coming. And what's coming ain't going to be good enough. That's it. I'm at telling everybody.
I was just looking at the stats in the French league, okay? I think they came 3rd and 4th for goals scored in the stand. It could have been 2nd, and it was 3rd, 4th, something like that. And it's Lacazette and Aubameyang for Marseille and Lyon. And that's a fact. That's all. Make that what you will. Park it, whatever you want with that. But yeah, definitely. I just want to ask this to whoever wants to answer it. We all know that Arteta is out of his depth and dived into the deep end too early by managing Arsenal too soon. But do you think he cares and that he gets what Arsenal FC need to achieve?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I think if I can just cut right in, I can say that he doesn't care at all. One of the reasons why I'm glad I didn't watch much of the Arsenal-Everton game was because I didn't want to see the festivities at the end. And I do seem to remember the story, which it might have been Lee Gunner who said about a 51-year season ticket holder who, at the end of last season's match against Wolves, walked out of the stadium because he didn't want to see Granit Xhaka being given a loving send-off. The same person who threw the captain's armband on the pitch and told fans to go do one. Now, I am sympathetic, of course, to Xhaka's personal issues, but still, there is a way to react, and what he did that day was simply not on. But one reason why I was glad I didn't watch the Arsenal-Everton game was because we had the spectacle of seeing the coach and, as Kyle Walsh would say, the so-called captain, talking to the fans after the game and saying, don't settle for anything less. Next season, we will go again, and we are going to try to get more. He talks a good game, but he doesn't play one. And even as a player, he was never good enough to lace the boots of Francesc Fabregas. And if he were truly serious in every way about doing things, let's also consider one fact. Near the end of this last season, we were slapping up teams 5-0, 6-0, and so forth, and having everyone purring over the seductive football we were playing. And Arteta was lapping up the plaudits, saying, with people saying his style of play is working, always works wonders. He's a top-class manager. But let me ask you a rhetorical question. How is it that by the end of the season, Manchester City were not only able to pip us to the title, but equal our goal difference, which was as high as into the double digits at one stage over them? Simple. Because When we played Manchester United, we should have slapped them up by more than the one that we did. But for some reason, we went exceptionally timid. And against Everton, we struggled so horribly. We were lucky to end up getting anything out of that game, to be honest. And yeah, listen, Saski Guna, I'm going to come to you right now. Yes, they may have won every league they've been in, but they belong all on the other side of the Atlantic. Okay? All on the other side of the Atlantic. Exactly. Exactly.
There's no need to insult Saski.
Yeah, no. We all know who the Saski Guna is, and I'm not going to bother to say his name. But without being interrupted, let me say this.
Go.
If Arteta had been serious about making sure this team would evolve, he would have really tried his hardest to really turn on the style in our last few games of the season, the way Manchester City did, slapping up Fulham 4-0, slapping up Wolves 5-1, and they equaled our goal difference. This squad is not a great young squad because not only are we being led by a pretty poor manager, but quite frankly, the players in question, including, yes, our captain Odegaard, who, Saski Guna will defend to the hilt, quite frankly, cowered when we needed them to stand up and take more initiative. But does Arteta care? Of course he doesn't care. If he truly cared, he would have put things right. If he truly cared, he would have gone out to actually make sure he played his strongest team against Unai Emery's Aston Villa, which had Douglas Luiz missing. But in addition to Arteta making some poor mistakes, we have to credit Unai Emery for putting up a tactical masterclass, playing both John McGinn and Tielemans as the defensive midfield pivots, going with the 4-2-3-1. And then, of course, he took DRB off and brought on Bailey. The rest is history. And although Zinchenko did actually do quite well in attack, very spraying some good passes, contributing to the attack and very nearly lobbing Emi Martinez, in the second half, we all know the pattern. Defensively, he becomes an absolute liability. And he was incompetent when it came to trying to attack the cross, which led to Bailey's goal. And then for Watkins' goal, which sealed everything, Smith Rowe was the last man. And it was Georgie Porgy putting in Pie who made another mistake and made Arsenal fans cry. And because Villa's boys came out to play that day, that was 3 precious points we threw away. I have a knack for doing that. Please forgive me. And Carl, don't sing that to your son, all right, mate? But the bottom line is Arteta isn't serious. Arteta doesn't care. If he truly cared, he'd take it seriously. He knows how to manipulate people into thinking that he's, the best manager since, sliced bread or whatever. And yet when it comes to the big games, the really big games where we need him to make that difference, more often than not, he fails. As bad as Ten Hag's results might have been this season, he was able to make a difference in that FA Cup final because he knew how to use Pep's strengths against him. And he's done that to us more than a few times. With Arteta, you just don't see him being able to be the difference maker in the big games. But he doesn't care. That's 2 consecutive runners-up places and Champions League money rolling in, and he'll talk a good game, but we all know what's going to happen, especially with our poor transfer record. And so, no, he doesn't care. The only way that things are going to change and people are going to realize that the Emperor has no clothes and demand change is if we have a horrible start to next season and we fail to even qualify for Europe by the end. That is when people are going to start realizing that, he's not the real deal. With a Manchester United connection, Ron Atkinson had a fairly successful season where his sides never finished outside the top 4, and there were several visits to Wembley. But when things started to go pear-shaped, he was sacked. And you know who replaced him? A certain Alex Ferguson. And the rest is history.
Yeah, 100%. Please do, if you're new, hit the sub button, hit the like. I really do appreciate it. Hit the notification bell and do daily transfers daily. So keep an eye out on the videos. Lads, I'm going to have to wrap it up now soon. So Static, you're next. Please do shout out your socials and everything like that.
First of all, before I do that, I'm going to be very quick. I need to respond to a few comments. So one, Highbury's local badger. Elise's never been through Arsenal's academy. It's only Eze. Elise came through, I think, Reading's academy or something. But listen, both players I would love to have at Arsenal, especially Joachim Andersen, the centre-back, to compete with Gabriel Saliba in defence. There's another comments where someone said Emery was 15th with Arsenal. No, that's incorrect, buddy. We were actually 8th between 6 to 9 points off top four before we gave Emery the boot. Ljungberg came in. He dropped Arsenal down to 11th. And when Arteta came in, he got us back up to 8th, where we ironically were when we got rid of Emery. So the time we were 15th was actually during his first or second full season, where we were definitely in the relegation zone. We were definitely 15th. And the third comment is Mike L. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Listen, I respect your opinion. I'm just saying, realistically, and I know Arsenal all too well, they're not going to spend another £100 million on another player. In my opinion, that was like once in a million, seeing us spending £100 million plus on one player. It's not going to happen again. Look, if we got him for probably half, like £50 million, yeah, sure. But Gyökeres, yeah, it's not going to happen. Like I said, Sporting Lisbon, they said no. Fair enough. We move on. Now, to change the subject. Sorry, I had to answer those comments. So yeah, to everyone, you can find me on Instagram, which is static__5. You can also find me on Del Boy Gunner TV and every other Arsenal-related YouTube channel. If you see me in the live chat, do come and say hello. I will do my very best to respond. Big love and respect to everyone on the panel. It's great to have a show with you boys. You guys are all legends. And big love and respect to everyone in the live chat. And everyone in the live chat, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And that's it from me.
Thanks, mate. Really do appreciate you coming on, and thanks a million again for all your support. Carl, big up, mate. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. We have to do it more often. You're more than welcome anytime. Give a shout out to your socials and stuff like that and what you've coming up.
Yeah, you can find me on X, KB Arsenal Pats 32. You can find my YouTube channel, Gun Down. You can find me on Instagram. You'll find me on Twitch, and so on. We've had a week's break because I've had a lot of stuff going on. My personal life. My little boy turned 3 last Friday, so this bank holiday has been very, very busy for me. But we will be returning for Framble Thursdays this coming Thursday, and we might do a Saturday night live show as well. So hope I'll tag Manny when we get an opportunity to, because obviously the Euros are like 2 weeks away. And I'd like to deep dive into some of the better teams, because I just look at our England team. It's so good. It's so talented, but we've got a cuck of a manager in charge. So I don't know how that's going to pan out. But yeah, you'll find me on my socials on there. Big up to Car Wash, big up to Stack, big up to Manny, big up to Warren. And Dale, as always, doing bits. You are literally, 20-odd subs now? Away from 1K. Get him to 1,000, get him to a K, guys. Come on. You're doing him a disservice.
Thanks,
make sure you subscribe.
Really appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Thanks a million. And Kyle, what's the story, mate? What do you have coming up or anything like that?
As you know, I've been out of action with the old days.
Get your finger over your phone there. It's hard to hear you.
Can you hear me now, then?
Yeah.
As you know, I've been out of action with the legs there, but I'm making a comeback there. I'm getting a bit better day in, day out, you know. Getting there. But no, it's a great honour to be on the show once again, man. Thanks very much for having me. And it's great to see Card. Card, first time speaking to you, my friend. I'm going to subscribe to your channel there now, buddy. Static, legend as always. Manny, legend as always. And the legend of all legends, Warren. And no, Dave, you're going to get lots of videos of me now. I've been doing a little bit behind the scenes. And I'm going to be putting a video out about our fucking captain. Sick to death of that prick. So that video is coming. And everybody should watch it. He said after the game, after losing the league title, our captain said, I'm a bit disappointed. So I'm coming for that prick. So that video is coming on my show. And I'm up to 246 subscribers, lads. I'm delighted. Keep our list. Get me another 3 subscribers. Get me to 250. Or 4 subscribers. Get me to 250. And let's get the dead boy up to 1,000. And Warren is not too far off 500. Get him up to 500. So big up to you all. And I'll see you all soon.
Absolute fucking facts. Thanks a million, Kyle. Yet again, absolute facts. Like, you know, we'll find you here a lot as well over the summer. Hopefully, we might do a live stream here and there for a few games. Yeah, 100%. And Warren, so for the people that you'll see the start chat, I hope you can see it or whatever, like, you know, but even Warren, if you wanted to throw it in there again, please do check out that stream that Kyle and Warren done. It's fucking brilliant, and there's more to come. And hit the subscribe button on the boys' channels like Carl, Warren, Kyle, and myself as well, if you don't mind. Static doesn't have a channel yet, but we might persuade him. We never know. We might.
You never know.
Yeah,
know.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Warren, persuasion.
Yeah. Thanks a million for coming on. Do you want to give a shout out, mate?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Del Boy. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And I just want to make sure that everyone make sure you go and follow all these people on the channel, these fantastic people that are on the panel. We got Carl Walsh, we got Carl, and we got Static and Manny. So make sure you go and follow them, and make sure as well we get this legend that is hosting the show up to 1,000 subs. He's so close to it, he can smell it. It's ridiculous. So yeah, please get him up. Yeah, also in the chat there is a link to the show that I did with Carl Walsh. There's going to be another one, hopefully this week. I'm going to message a couple of people about that when this show finishes. So it's almost ready to go, but there's still a bit of work that needs to be done. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. The last one got a lot of positive feedback, so we're really looking forward to it. You can find me on Warren's Team Talk. I'm on Instagram, on X, Facebook. So make sure you come and check me out, please. I really appreciate that. And and listen, don't believe a word that comes out of the mouth of Arsenal Football Club, because they've got a long history of talking absolute nonsense and lying to people. It is shocking. So keep your guard up. Don't fall into the trap of believing the nonsense that comes out of that club, because we've seen it now 2 or 3 years on the trot, where people have thought we're going to get something and we haven't, and they've had their hopes and dreams dashed, and it's just not right. It really isn't. And this club isn't gonna move forward until there's wholesale change. Okay, so we need to get these people out. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of heartache and whatnot. So, but we need to keep on them, and because otherwise we're just going to go through this nonsense year in, year out, because they're not interested. Just remember that. Whatever else, just remember that they are not interested in winning trophies, and that's what we all want. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for having me on, Dale Boy. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
No problem, mate.
Just want to say there, Del Boy, this club is fucked when we have fans like that Skarsky or Skarsgar Gooner or whatever the fuck his name is in the chat. Do us a favour, Skarsgar Goon or whatever you want to call yourself. Fuck off!
Wow.
Oh,
damn.
Fucking bullshit. That's what happens the way we are. Talking shit.
Fuck's sake. Manny, please do give us a shout out to your channel or to your socials and everything like that. I just need to laugh here for a few minutes.
Yeah, I have to control my laugh. I mean, obviously, you know, the Sasky Guna and I do speak on a few bases, and we are, you know, friends. Yeah, but you know, sometimes you deal with it, and you sometimes have to remember that there's more that unites us than divides us. But it is what it is, really. Another pearl of wisdom, as it is. No YouTube channel as of yet, but one thing which I'm probably going to... Really, Del? I really don't want to see another chat like that, to be honest.
Behave, Sasky, behave.
Yes, behave. And Yeah, so obviously I'm going to try and add a few more things to my own channel, which only has one video, and that's it's not even a football channel as such, but I'm sort of a renter host or a renter co-host or a renter panelist, and a bit like Kenny Ken, if you will. That's sort of the way I roll in a way. And if you want to catch me on my socials, it's Manny Thangaderai 1981 on Instagram and Threads. It's Thangaderai 1981 on Twitter, where I have to deal with a lot of people who still have the nerve to mug off Unai Emery as a glorified cup manager while praising Arteta to the skies. And again, we're having the same rubbish being, spoken about our season. Utterly ridiculous. You can catch me over there. Carl's already on there. He's seen a lot of my tweets. He knows what I'm on about. And that's where you can catch me at my best at times, in a way. And as far as my YouTube thing, catch me over here on Del Boy Gunner TV. Big up to him. Always my first, my last, my everything. Also catch me on the Coach's Corner, Oris Talks Football, Danny AFC TV, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Up the Cherries in All Departments, which is a Bournemouth fan channel, and also the Gone Down podcast with our dear friend Carl as well. Love collaborating with him whenever I can. Also, if you can, try and check out my wonderful interview with Warren, where I speak about my life as a football fan since childhood, growing up, having gone, here and there around the world, and finally being anchored, but not for too long, and still on the move. Also, catch me on Rich Sports Football United with Anthony Herbert, Spurs Asia TV with Eugene. Static knows Eugene well. We all love him. One of the sensible Tottenham fans, and I'm a sensible Arsenal fan who comes on his channel. I come in peace and we talk about the issues, and it just goes to show that we can sometimes harmonize with people who may not like the same things we do. And there are several other channels, I think. I don't know if I've mentioned them all. If I haven't mentioned you, please know that you are special to me. And if you don't believe me, I'll send a check in the post. And just briefly, let me say that we have to be willing to agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Otherwise, there's no point in having a discussion. So, let's all learn to, not attack each other's opinions. And, if you attack our opinions first, we will come back at you. So please try to be respectful with us as much as you can. Nothing much else except to say I hope you all enjoy the rest of this week, and take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be happy. Don't do anything that the panel and I wouldn't do. Do please get yourselves prepared for the Champions League final coming up this weekend. Should be a cracker. Until then, nothing much else except to say I'm out. See you all soon.
Thanks,
Delboy.
Big thanks to all the panel, everyone who has come on, and all you legends in the chat as well.
Delboy, sorry to interrupt. I apologise. Sorry. Yeah. I will let you talk. I just want to respond to Old School Gunner's question. I just want to answer it, if that's okay. It was about players I would bring in. In my opinion, I'll be quick. Realistically, since we love to say that, love to use that as a context. Realistically, 3 players I would want to sign for Arsenal, in my opinion, would be Palhinha from Fulham, Tony from Brentford, and Kudus from West Ham. That's it for me.
Interesting, yeah. Anyway, I'll continue here. Yeah, so I'm pleased to. I'm doing a daily transfer rumor news sort of stuff like that. So it comes out about 2:00 to between 2 and 4 every day. So hit the notification on that if you don't mind. Check it out. Hit the old like on it. I'll be going live probably again this week. I'm not sure yet, but just keep an eye on it. I'm going on Matt's channel on Friday night as well. Sutter and Gunner. So just check that out. There was actually a good laugh the other night on Friday night. So yeah, please do keep hitting that like button and subscribe if you do. As the boy says, I'm very close to 1,000. Kyle, just before you go, will you?
Yeah, just I see you Friday night. Southern Gunners have been on to me as well, so I'll see you Friday night.
Boys, apparently I'm invited too. I might see you two there.
So it'll be a bit.
We'll be there.
I'll take the stabilizers off and we'll fucking let rip. But anyway, thanks to everyone. Really do appreciate it. And look, check out all their channels. check out Warren's and Kyle's, and not only that, but Warren's and Mane's as well. That was absolutely quality as well. Big love to everyone else. Will we sign anyone? We need to get moving. I think we need to start signing people before we get this Euros underway, because their prices is only going one way, and that's up. Take care.